Hello and welcome to our final installment of the Internet Lead Gen webinar series. This week we're going to focus on conversion and closing. And as we start each week, let's relook at what Internet Lead Generation is. It's your purposeful strategy to promote your brand and drive consumers to you online. Now for this series, we've broken our strategy into two different parts. The first is your brand and creating and maintaining your internet presence. And the second piece is your strategy of how to get traffic to you and capturing, connecting, and cultivating those leads. So we've gone through all the way through your brand and your strategy of how to get traffic to you. And now we're going to be closing the deal. So we're going to finish our conversation by focusing on how you can keep consumers engaged online so you can convert and close. So I love this, and I want to start with this so we can get into the right mindset for today. A visitor to your website is not a lead until they're able, ready, and willing to transact business now. So what does this mean? It means that just because someone is visiting and on your site doesn't mean they're a lead yet. You need to do something to really pull them in and then have the systems to convert them into active business. So how do you do that? How do you transition a consumer from a website visitor to a lead and ultimately to an appointment and a closed transaction? Well, we follow the 4 C's from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent: capture, connect, close, and cultivate. You must capture valid contact information, connect by establishing a relationship, close to an appointment, or if they're not quite ready for an appointment yet, how to cultivate that relationship until they're ready to move forward. So let's start with capture. A consumer wants information, or they want value from your website, and you want their contact information. So what's the key? Make them want to give you their information because what you provide is worth it. So what information do you need to get? Well, the most important information is their name and an email or a phone number. And it's really interesting now with the amount of information we have. It used to be only a phone number was great, but you can get a lot of information if you can get their valid email address. Okay, so how do you get that? Well, there's a variety of forms, requests, and calls to action that you can include in your website. So what are these methods? Property information requests. So anytime a consumer requests more information on a specific property, they request a showing, or they want to email a listing to a friend, a property form allows them to submit their contact information to you with any questions they might have. They're getting something of value, and you're getting their contact information. The second type are instant notification campaigns. So these are the drip systems on your website that allow consumers to set up a notification anytime a new listing matches their criteria, comes into the MLS. And this not only gives you their contact information, it also gives you insights into what they're interested in. And it's very similar to a search saver. A search saver allows a consumer to save their search so they can perform the same search on your website in a future visit. A little different than what's come on the market. This is really focused on not having to re-enter that same information. So every time they can come up and say, ooh, tell me what my search for a 3-bedroom, 3-bath below $250,000 in 78613 looks like. Again, just like the instant notification, it gives you more insight into not only their contact information, but what it is that they're searching for. The other thing to make sure and add, and we're mentioning this, it sounds like a duh, your contact form. Outside the listing information, your website should have a standard contact form so consumers can easily reach out to you. You're the real estate expert, and you want a space where consumers can ask questions. Another request, a CMA request. Make sure that you're calling it a find the value of your home or what terminology they would use. But these are for prospective sellers. They want to find the value of their home. It's a great contact form for you, especially if you have one when you're looking at services to add on your website. where they can just plug in their address. So without even realizing it, they're actually giving you their actual home address before they've ever made contact with you. Subscribe form. You can add a subscribe form to allow consumers to sign up to receive your blog or newsletter about neighborhoods, schools, local economy, etc. So you can add those to your website to be able to really capture that information. Now, what about restricting access to view properties? This is a tactic that's available on most real estate websites, including yours. We had that service through KW, and it results in really high quantity of leads. And a high percent of those leads will be fake. Just know that going in. Now, why is this? And personally, I actually don't recommend using this method as part of your strategy. Why? Because consumers today can access that home information for free on hundreds of different sites. It's not unique to you and what they're doing. The best way to actually get that information from them is to show your expertise and provide information they can't get anywhere else. That's going to be your highest quality of leads and your highest conversion. So let's talk about the next piece of the pie and connecting with our leads. Connecting with leads is about establishing a relationship. There are 4 factors involved in establishing that relationship. First, respond quickly. Consumers expect a fast response. It's actually less than 5 minutes that they expect a response. The point is that consumers are probably reaching out to multiple sources for information, and you want to be the one that responds first. Number 2, connect with questions. You must be curious about the consumer's perspective, their expectations and dreams in order to build trust and understanding. And plus, be sure to answer questions with an open-ended question to keep the conversation going. Number 3, identify motivation by closing early. By asking to meet now, you will determine the prospect's motivation, if they're able, ready, and willing to buy or sell now. And then finally, prioritize your leads. By asking questions and determining their motivation, you can now prioritize your leads. Obviously, you want to prioritize or aggressively act on the buyers and sellers who are ready to do business now. So let's talk about closing for the appointment. You'll never know when your lead is ready, so ask. Converting internet leads is a matter of persistence. And the only way to achieve great results is to know how well your systems are working. So make sure that you're tracking where your internet leads are coming from and the percentage that are captured or closed. This way you're empowered to change what isn't working and focus on what works best. And if the consumer isn't ready to sit down for an appointment quite yet, we want to cultivate. We don't want to lose them. There is an average waiting period. It depends on the site, could change, but up to 18 months that an internet lead may be looking and viewing before they're ready to buy. But you don't want to lose them during that time. Whether it's a month or 18 months, you want to stay in relationship with them. So how you do that, there are 3 different types of lead follow-up you can use to cultivate the relationship. These types are determined by the priority of the lead and the time and effort you can afford to dedicate your resources to it. So the first is a passive lead follow-up, typically used when you only have the email address of the consumer or you have prioritized the lead as not ready quite yet. It's a marketing-based approach that involves email communications over time to offer and attract and then wait and see. So you're basically giving those touches that a little bit more passive, just reminding them that you're in the business to help them buy or sell a home. The second type is an active lead follow-up. It's a marketing-based approach used to show the consumer that the agent is the real estate expert by providing useful information such as your buyer tips, your market reports, anything that's relevant to the specific needs of that contact. So it's an active lead, so we're knowing a little bit more information about them, so we're sending them information that's very specific to their situation. Then there's the interactive lead follow-up. It's a combination of active and passive. It involves the sending of consistent, timely, and informational emails combined with personal phone calls to follow up. It's the classic touch campaign from MREA. And then what do? We hurry up and wait. Timing is everything. Internet leads can take time. Now, by waiting, we're not just sitting back and just hoping that they might remember. You're setting those automatic drip campaigns and touches so that they're remembering who you are and what you do for a living and what services you can offer to them, so that the minute that they're ready to convert, you're there waiting for them as well. Your cultivation process should include both automated emails that send out informative comment, as well as personalized touches like phone calls. And the great thing is that the marketing tab on MyKW has a variety of content you can personalize and send to your sphere, such as This Month in Real Estate, 8x8 campaigns, 33 touch campaigns, and much more. All the campaigns can be launched out of the box or can be customized further to match your brand. And plus, you can always take content from the KW blog. And don't forget to check out kwuconnect.com to see how your peers are communicating with their spheres. As long as the content you send is addressing the needs of your consumers, the time and energy you put into cultivating these leads will pay off. However, with the social media, you can use more than just phone calls and emails to reach out and connect with your consumers. So let's talk about social media and how it feeds into lead cultivation. It actually makes the collecting of information from people who are interested in buying or selling a home a little bit easier. Sometimes we may call this social stalking. Some people like that, some people don't, but it is essentially social stalking. But it gives you so many more insights into the consumers before you've ever made contact with them that you can literally create a personalized, tailored experience. So when and how do you jump in? When it comes to social media and for life, we often view it as two different spheres. Your business sphere is where you offer online real estate services through your website, such as property searches and home evaluations. It's all about capturing leads and closing for the appointment. It's how you do business online. Your social sphere, on the other hand, consists of the social activities you conduct online, such as posting on Facebook or sending a tweet. It's more about connecting with friends, family, and clients, and it's where you cultivate your relationships. And the beauty of your online presence can reflect the mix of both business and social that best represents you, who you are and what you want to achieve, and how you want to run your business. Your online network is just like your offline network, just with more people in a lot less time. Be the authentic person you already are, just online. Find ways to connect with others through your own interests, hobbies, and passions. There are forums and communities online that can help you join and start contributing too. So as you interact with your sphere online, you'll start to learn more about what is going on in the lives of your connections, or even visitors. Once they give you that email address, there's a lot of information that you can really gather. For example, some people will flat out announce they're planning on buying a new house. It doesn't happen quite as often as what we'd hope, but they may just tell us that we're having a new baby. Others may change their relationship or their job status. All of these changes are opportunities for you to see more insights into that potential customer and help target and change those marketing messages. So if you have an 8x8, have one that's customized that has one drip campaign that's more geared towards newlyweds. And so when you see someone that looks like they just got married, send them that 8x8. All you've changed is one piece of material, but that first piece of material is now geared towards a newlywed and their mindset rather than just a generic material. So those are the insights that's exciting about social media that we can incorporate how we cultivate and convert those leads. Now, a status update online, it can be misleading. Someone who announces that they're already buying might just be thinking about it. They may already be so close or about to close on a house. Or a couple who gets engaged may already own a home. So this is why you want to try and get that appointment and look for more social clues as to what's happening in their life so you're providing the right information at the right time. So how can you incorporate social media into your 8x8? We know through MREA that systematically contacting people is a powerful means to build relationships. And as Gary Keller says, everyone you meet should go onto an 8x8. So you can incorporate social media activities into your 8x8 that will enable you to capture and close your potential clients, such as sending links to your blog. You can send a link to your market report, ask if they want a free market analysis of their home, send a message with good deals in the area, direct them to services on your website, and after every activity, always ask for an appointment. So stop and think, What other services do you offer that you could post on social media to help convert those visitors into leads? So that's how we capture, convert, cultivate, and close internet leads. So let's take a recap of what we've covered in this series. So first, we started with your brand. In week 1, we talked about your website and the importance of creating a destination for your consumers. Make your online presence a place they want to be. Week 2 was all about your brand on social media. What is key? What is key is consistency and updated information. Make sure that the brand you have built in person is reflected on your website and in all of your social media channels. So in week 3, we moved on to ratings and reviews, because the brand is no longer what we tell consumers it is what the consumers tell each other it is. So the information age has created an information-empowered consumer, and consumers expect to be able to get any and all information they want, including agent reviews. It is your job to empower your clients to be the advocates for you. So then we switched from brand to strategy. In week 4, we talked about how to drive traffic to your online presence using search engine optimization. Remember, SEO is all about making your website attractive to search engines by selecting the right keywords and keeping your website content up to date. It's about putting in the time and energy to make your site pleasing to search engines and consumers. And remember, the search engines have one goal, and that is to answer a question for the person who is searching. And so when you look at your content, is your content answering a question? So in week 5, we discussed paid advertising, whether it's through Facebook, Twitter ads, Yahoo, Bing, Google. They all offer different ways to advertise, and you're paying for that advertising. And we covered your 6 tips to maximize your ad conversion. And those were focusing on the end goal, making sure your headlines shouldn't ask the prospect what they're already searching for. As an advertiser, you already know that they are. Number 2, create FOMO, also known as fear of missing out. It's a powerful method to encourage your prospects to click on your ad. For example, this house won't be on the market long. We have 2 more days before the open house. Create that urgency. Stay up to date. It seems logical, but what happened recently will get more eyeballs and interest than what happened 3 months ago. So update your ads constantly with up-to-date information. And get specific on information, incorporating numbers into your copy, and not just, we've sold over 100 homes, it's we've sold 104 homes. Make things personal. Focus on the consumer's needs, using the word you in your ads. Find opportunities where you can include the word you in your headline or first description line. As always, lead with benefits. And our last tip, be hyper-local. Even if you have offices in multiple cities, show your prospect that you're right around the corner. We know that using an 800 number or a phone number out of the zip code will have a far less conversion rate by showing a phone number that's in the zip code of your target audience. And of course, today we talked about the 4 C's of conversion. You must capture valid contact information, connect by establishing a relationship, close the appointment, or if they're not ready for an appointment, cultivate the relationship until they're ready to move forward. So internet lead generation is about establishing a consistent online brand through your website, social media, even the portals that represent you and your business. Once you've established that brand, it's about putting in the time and energy and possibly the money to drive traffic to your online presence, and then doing the work to capture, connect, cultivate, and close those leads. Thank you all for your time and your participation in this webinar series. I hope it's opened your eyes to the possible business available to you online and gave you some helpful tips in how to build and promote your brand online. We're always here to answer questions, so please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My email is carys, C-A-R-Y-S, @kw.com. I hope you have a great day and go knock 'em dead through internet lead generation. Thank you all. Have a wonderful afternoon.